Here at Venture Lane with Jonny Boyarsky, we want to know what he's building, what he loves about building in Boston, and some startups he has his eye on. So Jonny, thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, thanks, Matt. Appreciate it. So I'm building First Glance, which is the Spotify for startups. We feel like a lot of people struggle to quickly convey what they're working on. It's always a pain to go get pitch decks or blurbs as to, is that company still raising? What's going on? Especially when you meet an investor and want to spend it along. So building First Glance, which is founder first, but we're going to have a lot of investors on there as well. As far as, what I love about building in Boston, it was
right into the second question.
There we go. I'll do the segue for you. So I was living in New York, working at an accelerator, and I actually very intentionally chose to come back to Boston even before building this platform because I felt like the ecosystem here is actually probably the most welcoming. It's a little bit hard. Bostonians are a little bit of a tough shell to crack, but it's a very thin shell, and once you're in, everyone will adopt you, and if you show up and help out, people will go the extra mile for you.
Amazing. And last, what are you seeing? What are you watching in the ecosystem that we should know?
I think that some of the startups to watch, he's a little bit split between Philly and Boston, but John Tokarowski with New Issue IQ, really good idea. Jason Abrams with TireTutor is another excellent one, so pretty excited about that.
Awesome. This is Jonny Boyarsky. Thank you so much for joining us.
Love it. Thanks for having me.
I'm here with Mei. We're here to find out what she's building, what she loves about building in Boston. She just moved here, by the way, and some other startups that she has her eye on. So thank you so much for being here. First question, what are you building?
Yes, so we have built a AI plugin that allows lawyers to automatically translate and structure their legal documents. I'm a Liberian-born Taiwanese South African who has constantly been dealing with language issues, and I became obsessed when I found that a 20-page document costs like $800 to translate in the legal industry, and that's the problem that I've been obsessed with solving ever since.
Breaking down borders, that's very important. And what do you love about building in Boston, especially someone with such a new perspective that just moved to the city?
Yeah, so I am fresh off the boat, if you want to call it that, and I'm loving Boston because the mindset is just so startup friendly, and the energy is amazing, everyone is focused on building something, the ability to connect with people, and the willingness to make introductions and to help you is really great. It's not true what they say about Bostonians being unfriendly. You guys are all right.
Appreciate that. And last question, what do you have your eye on, whether that's in the legal tech world or just even in startups beyond as you've gotten acclimated to Boston?
So there is a legal tech company called Harvey that I watch, and I hope to sort of follow their footsteps. They're not based in Boston, but it's just something that I'm keeping an eye on.
Cool. Their chief people officer actually used to work at HubSpot. I saw that.
Oh.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
We're here at Venture Lane today with Dave from EasyBee. First question, what are you building over at EasyBee?
Yes, at EasyBee AI, we are an AI agent company. AI agents, not chatbots, they're very different, are your 24/7 digital helpers. We build them as a service or a product to mid-sized businesses, 3 to 150 million in sales, and they lease it monthly. It only takes a couple weeks to get set up, low or no setup charge. They lease it monthly. If it's not giving them a 5 or 10 to 1 ROI, they can get rid of it.
Very topical. Now, Dave, what do you love about building in Boston?
So I've lived in New York, London, Paris, San Francisco, but the greater Boston area is my home. The ecosystem here is very tight. In the Bay Area, it stretches all the way from San Francisco all the way down to Palo Alto and beyond. In New York, it's very transactional. I think in Boston, you can, within just a few minutes, be talking to different people in the ecosystem. We go to Venture Cafe at the Cambridge Innovation Center every Thursday. Today I'm here at Venture Lane. I've met so many amazing entrepreneurs. As one person said, the bacon effect of being 1 degree of separation is more like 2 degrees of separation here in Boston. And we couldn't be more proud to be building a great agentic company here.
Love that. And last but not least, what should we be watching here in the city that you're seeing for the community?
Yeah, so my co-founder, Karim Asai, he's an MIT grad, a Y Combinator alum, and we've done a lot of stuff with MIT. And I saw the folks from Liquid AI at MIT a month ago. They're already over $2 billion in market cap. And what they're doing is they're basically doing a large language model that doesn't require connection to the internet. Think of it as a large language model for edge devices. It is so amazing. The 4 MIT grads are very humble, and I think it's just going to be a huge, huge success story here in Boston. But there's a lot of great AI companies here, and I couldn't be more proud of what the Commonwealth is trying to do to support the ecosystem.
I'm with Issam. First question, what are you building?
First, thank you for having me. And we're building Coach Sensai. It's an AI-powered delivery and agile coach. It helps software engineering teams and leaders improve their software delivery and meet market needs.
Yeah, that's really important. And what do you love about building in Boston as a founder here?
I love the community. I love how many startups there are around. And the most important part for me is how much help we get from everybody, how helpful they are, and making sure that we succeed.
Yeah. And last but not least, what are some trends that we should be watching, or maybe other startups that you've seen around the city that are going to play out in a big way over the coming quarters and years?
I'm actually pretty excited to see what's coming out from the new graduates. There's a lot of new startups that I'm seeing that are very exciting. I think the job market is not helping them, but I think their creativity is creating a lot of opportunity for them, and I think it's exciting to see.
We're here today at Venture Lane with Connor Harbison from Atlas. First question, what is Atlas? What are you and your team building?
We're building a data platform for crop health. So think about when you go to the doctor and get a physical, and they say, okay, your height, your weight, your cholesterol are all good. We do that for plants. We do it much more often. We can help growers and researchers steer their crops. So if you want higher protein, you want higher antioxidants, you want bigger leaves, we can help them do that. And we do it with machine learning, data, IoT, all the fun technology.
Awesome. Now you've been building in Boston for a while, and you're heavily integrated in the academic ecosystems here. What do you love about building here that you would share with the community?
So before I moved to Boston, I lived out in Montana, and every startup I talked to was like, we can't find developers. I think the amazing thing about Boston is it is impossible not to find smart people. There's so many good schools, there's so many smart people, in biotech and software and AI and all of these amazing hardware. You go to events, you go to places like Venture Lane here, you're meeting people who are working on interesting things. And I think there are very few places like that in the world.
Definitely. And we should be on the lookout for Atlas. Stay tuned in the coming months for more updates from Connor and his team. But what are some other startups or trends you have your eye on here locally?
I want to give a shout out to my friend Jonny Boyarsky. He's working on something called First Glance. It's basically Spotify for startups. So you can make playlists of your favorite startups to follow along, so you don't have to be on LinkedIn. I also want to give a shout out an organization I'm involved with called Tech Walk. So every month we get together in Back Bay and walk and get our steps in and then go and network at a bar.
Very important.
Big group of founders, investors, operators, people who are interested in tech. So if you're interested in meeting cool people and want to get your steps in and be healthy, come check us out.
This is Connor from Atlas. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.